All right, welcome to the Canary in the Cage podcast. I'm Ron Morgan and my co-host
Dave Havlicek.
We are here to entertain you, educate you, and maybe we might even make you laugh. I don't know. We'll see. So, Dave, I heard we had a Monero winner?
Oh, yeah, before we get started with the show, so last week we said first to RSVP to the barbecue gets the Monero giveaway, and congratulations to Travis. So Travis was the first one. He pinged us like an hour after the show went up.
So he pays attention.
Yeah, so all you guys that are late listeners, you better get on it if you want that Monero.
Yeah, because that Monero is growing. It's going up. It might be $1 one day. It might be $1.10 the next.
That's true. And again, a reminder: we have limited spaces for the barbecue, so you want to get your RSVPs in before we run out.
And it's very possible if I can figure out a few ways of getting ingredients without money, and I'm gonna stick to the rules.
Well, you have a garden. It's easy for you.
Well, no, I want to distill some liquor.
Oh, okay.
So my corn's not ready yet, and my yeast are going to be a problem, but I think I can trade for them.
Okay.
So I may even have some yeast around the house. It wouldn't be distiller's yeast, but it will be bread yeast, which kind of can fill in if I need to. But I am going to look into it. So let's get started with the show and see where the fuck we are. I'm trying not to swear. Because people might listen to this at work, and they may have to turn us off.
Oh, fuck them.
Yeah. If you're listening at work, get the fuck off this podcast and get to work. It's been a wild week.
Oh, I forgot that.
Since last week, but you know what? I'm starting to think Harris might make a good president.
Oh, yeah?
Well, if she can get the economy fixed as fast as she made her signs and T-shirts for her running for president, dude, that letter came out in the morning. By the afternoon, she had thousands of signs.
You don't think that was already set up to go?
Oh, so you think this was the plan?
I don't know if I'd say plan.
Oh, because you don't like plans.
Well, no, I love plans. I just don't think some people are capable of making them.
They're not smart enough to do it. Yeah, she even had so technically, 30 days ago, she had job offer. She had Indeed job post on Indeed.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Kind of thinking.
Well, I mean, every time the World Series or the Super Bowl happens, like they make all the shirts and stuff for both teams.
Yeah.
And then there's the famous photo of the Harry Truman holding up the newspaper. Dewey defeats Truman. Remember that? Yeah. So, like, they always done this stuff.
Well, true, but do you think they did that, like, the minute the letter came out, or before the letter came out?
No, it was all ready to go.
Okay, so they knew they were doing this.
No, they were going to try and do it, and it worked out. And if it didn't work out, then they would have just thrown it all away. Or sold it in like, fucking Pakistan.
Some third world country's going to be wearing Harris.
I mean, have you ever visited these countries, and you see the shirts the kids are wearing? Like, Dukakis. Like, wait, he didn't win. But, yeah, that's what they do.
So that letter came out on Sunday, like late morning?
That sounds right.
Okay. Do you think Joe Biden wrote that letter?
I don't think Joe Biden wrote that letter. So this is where
shit, we actually agree?
Yeah, this is where like
no
conspiracy.
Way.
So I'm not opposed to conspiracy theories, right? But when I analyze a conspiracy theory, I have to ask, means, motive, opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? And every conspiracy has a motive, right?
True.
We gotta give you that one.
Yeah.
They all have motives, right? But the means part is always the problem. So, like, when you say, oh, they didn't go to the moon, or this and that, or, right, like, well, do they have the means to actually pull that off?
We didn't go to the moon.
And the answer is no. They don't have the means to pull that off. But this one, like, literally all you got to do is have one guy, like, copy-paste his signature and post it on Twitter.
No,
right?
I believe the president has a machine that signs, like, certain things, and then certain things have to be the wet signature.
Okay.
So they have a machine that does it. But this wasn't
what good
even
is that?
on... What's that?
What good is that? It's like...
Well, I know, but like, there's certain things the president has to sign that just
so make him sign it.
Oh, but he'll get
That's
like
his job.
cramps and shit.
Oh, so then don't sign it. Then it doesn't go into law. I don't care.
That I actually agree with. But I think that letter, because apparently Joe Biden staffers found out about this on Twitter.
They found out about from. So like this kind of reminds me of the Soviet Union. So do you know the story of Khrushchev?
No, I don't.
So Khrushchev was one of the dictator premiers of the Soviet Union. I think he came after Stalin, and he would go on vacations out in the countryside every summer or something. I don't remember exactly, but one day the party leaders, they got together when Khrushchev was on vacation, and they just drafted up resignation letters, and put a fake signature in, and they did a radio broadcast, and Khrushchev has resigned. The whole country is now under the assumption that Khrushchev has resigned, and then they go to him on vacation, and they make him listen. They turn the radio on, and here you go. What are you gonna do about it? And there's nothing he can do. Right? What can he do?
Kind of like the Obama birth certificate. It just popped up one day. I'm not saying he wasn't born. I'm not a birther.
So I mean, we have precedent for this, right? Like, and why the fuck not do it to Joe Biden, right? Like, the guy won't step down. That's the other thing, right? Biden is a hard-headed asshole.
Yeah.
Just like Trump, just like you and me.
Yeah.
He's not going to step down.
No, he is very stubborn. I agree.
So they have to make him do it.
A surprise retirement party.
Right.
I've had a few of those for my bosses. I mean, it was, hopefully they would actually fucking retire, but who knows? So I do not believe he signed. I don't believe he knew about it. But I'm going to go ahead and say this one. So he's either dead or in a major medical incident.
Well, he did have a bruise on his face. Did you see the bruise on his face?
Which time?
He talked today or this morning?
You mean yesterday?
Was it yesterday? I don't remember if it was yesterday or today, but he's got a big bruise on his face.
So wait, sorry. Someone talked yesterday.
Come on. This is ridiculous.
No, we'll get to that. So I mean, this is even Tucker Carlson's kind of in on this one. So when he was here in Vegas,
yeah,
he had, I believe, 4 events in one day.
Okay.
He got through 3 of them, and then Tucker Carlson has a source in Metro, and that's our police department here, who said that, oh shit, Canary's still dead, but we gotta light him up. He said that clear this hospital out. We have the president coming in with a major medical situation. And they started going in route to the hospital, and then they went ahead and called the hospital back and said, no, don't worry about it. We're heading to Johns Hopkins. We're getting him to the plane.
Maybe he collapsed, fell over and collapsed. That's why he's got a bruise on his face.
He's done that a lot.
Yeah.
What makes that time any different?
Nothing.
Okay. So, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared.
Well, yeah, he collapsed and he hit his head and passed out.
So you've got...
And he had COVID, for fuck's sake. He has COVID, man. Come on, it's the deadliest thing in the world.
So he disappears for a couple days. A letter comes out saying he's stepping down from running for office.
Right.
But not stepping down from the presidency.
Right.
Which is weird, because he should have done both.
Well, maybe he fell down the stairs.
Maybe he pissed off Jill and she has good right hook. Wait, which side of the cheek was it on?
It's hard to say because it's on the video, so you don't ever know if it's reversed or not.
Maybe Dr. Jill Biden got a good left or right hook. But so he disappears. The letter comes out that he's resigning.
Yeah.
Still no Joe Biden. And then so that was on Sunday. On Tuesday, we get a video of him getting out of a limo and scurrying upstairs.
Yeah.
That man doesn't scurry upstairs. And he actually entered the plane from the front stairs and not the rear stairs. So he went to the adult-sized stairs and not the child-sized stairs. Okay. And no handrail, just whoop, right up there. I'm like, oh, wow.
Maybe COVID fixed him up.
Maybe it wasn't Joe Biden.
So
he went...
Okay, you have these weird ideas that there's this big grand scheme to have an actor and face paint and makeup and there's a whole production crew that has to do this stuff.
Not face paint and makeup. There's a straight up mask.
But they couldn't figure out to have a guy of the right height and to walk up the correct stairs.
So you're kind of jumping the couch on me. Dante/Travis will understand that because he almost lost $100. I would have bet him on that one. But I digress. That one they didn't really discuss his height there. They discussed how peppy he was.
Right, but I'm saying if they went through all the trouble to get a fake Biden, why wouldn't they say make sure you shuffle?
Well, okay, so you think they had a good plan then, or a good situation? So
I think it's just Biden. Okay. It's just Biden.
So he goes up the stairs, no problem, gets on the plane, flies away, and he has a speech to make on Wednesday night. He makes that speech.
Yeah.
Was that recorded live?
I have no idea.
Well, it was supposed to be.
Okay.
It might have been. But yet, his watch showed 2 hours prior. So one of two things happened.
So they recorded it ahead of time.
Well, that's one option. They could have recorded it ahead of time, even though they said it was live, because they lie. Or when he took his nap, they just advanced his watch back 2 hours.
Well, no, so when the media says live, it doesn't always mean happening at this moment. So like they'll do live recordings of things.
They didn't say recorded live. They said this is a live. I mean,
they don't. Okay, so this happens a lot in the poker world. So they do live streams of poker.
Okay.
But because in poker it's important to keep your cards secret.
Yeah.
They actually record the show 3 hours early. And then stream. So, like, everyone understands that live doesn't mean at this moment.
So, after the speech, he goes out to the Rose Garden or some garden in the White House for a ice cream social.
Well, yeah, there you go. It's Biden.
Except he was 4 inches taller.
No, he's not.
No, you can say camera angle. You can say, it was reflecting off of the moon. I'm saying they use his wife as a constant. And she was right next to him. She was 4 inches taller than he was.
No, she was like...
she was lagging back.
She was lagging back a little bit, and I'm pretty sure that they were downstairs, like the cameramen were downstairs, which causes a perspective. Dude, like you can look at this photo I'm showing. I'll put it up. I'll edit it in on the YouTube video. But like you can make things look like this.
No, I agree.
Very easily.
Camera angles can change it, so I will give you that. But there's been other instances where they've used his wife as a constant, and he's been different heights. So I don't know. But the reality is, when I have a lack of information, I have to start assuming what's going on and start speculating and start looking into things. And I think he's either dead or he's got a major medical event he can't get out of. If you look at his wife and Hunter, his wife Jill, Dr. Jill, and Hunter, they're not their normal selves. I mean, Hunter may not even be high.
Well, yeah, because they're victims of the coup.
It is a coup.
So, of course they're not themselves. Like, they're like, what the fuck just happened to us?
Well, but here's the thing.
And think about how Hunter Biden can't make millions of dollars anymore.
Or
his career's over.
So maybe the immunity deal hasn't been given to Hunter yet, and his dad's dead, and now they've got to negotiate an immunity deal, so that we'll go along with the plan that he's dead as long as Hunter gets immunity.
I don't think so.
Nah, there's something afoot at the Circle K. You that old yet?
That was Bill and Ted's
So speaking of like old
1989.
Speaking of old references, are you a Dukes and Hazzards fan?
No, but I saw the post that you made.
Holy shit! Hoover made that post. I love you,
dude. Did you not see the what was the Red Fox show? Remember the Red Fox TV show in the 70s and 80s?
Sanford and Son?
Sanford Son.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't see the Trump Sanford and Sons?
No, I did not.
Holy fuck, dude. Those were amazing.
Oh, I got to go look at that right now. I'm leaving the show.
YouTube took it down.
Really?
This guy had like 300 episodes where like they would take a bit from Sanford and Son, just like a 2-minute bit, where like he was like, "Hey, you dummy," you know, like, and he would put Trump's face on Red Fox, and he had like Trump Jr. and he had Nancy Pelosi and he had Maxine Waters, and it was fucking hilarious, dude.
Wait, so the Dukes of Hazzards one,
that was just the intro.
What they did is they took the intro to the Dukes of Hazzards, and they swapped out. I guess it would be John Schneider was Trump, and Tom Wopat was J.D. Vance. Yeah. I mean, because J.D. Vance is a hillbilly, not an insult, because I'm a hillbilly too. Come from the same part of Kentucky. Well, our Ken do. I said Ken, not family, because there's a reason I said that. And they just basically, and then, what's Trump's wife's name?
Melania.
She was Daisy Duke, and she did a good Daisy Duke. And then Joe Biden was Roscoe. Guess which character they put Kamala Harris as? Did you see that?
I don't recognize
Roscoe's dog. It's hard to see because it's a quick scene where there's a cop car. If you look, you can see the floppy ears of the Basset Hound and see her face
and
right
Hillary was Boss Hog.
And then they also paid homage to Rush Limbaugh, which they should have. He's a stand-up guy.
Yeah, well, that one looked really good. I'll find the Sanford and Son one and I'll post it.
It's so
fun because like they're actually doing dialogue.
Yeah.
And the jokes like line up. Oh my god, it's so fucking good.
So I have one request. Whoever made that, make one of Dave and I as the Dukes of Hazzards, and you'll get the Monero, the dollar's worth Monero. so that is, if I have to, I'll buy a Monero and do it myself. If Dave doesn't want to do this, but I seriously want that with Dave and I. And if you just email us, and I'll fill in the rest of the characters later. Or you can make them up yourself. I don't care.
So Trump made a big gaffe today. Well, not a gaffe, but said something really stupid, where they were talking about the flag burning people.
Yeah.
And Trump was like, "Oh, you should be in jail for desecrating the flag." Like, come on, dude. You're supposed to be the pro-freedom guy. Stop with this bullshit.
So I have an issue with that. I mean, here's the deal: you have a legal right to burn the flag. I do. I understand that, and I'm okay with that. But that kind of falls under the thing is just because you can doesn't mean you should.
No, it does mean.
Well, no, you shouldn't.
No, I should.
It shows it's a respect thing, and that's fine.
So that's the whole point.
No, I get it, and I'm okay, but I'm okay with it. But the one thing you have to, because I actually knew you were going to counter me on that one. The other thing you have to realize is that you have to respect the rights of the people that don't want you to burn the flag that come in and stop you.
No, you have no right to stop me.
If you want to protest and burn the flag, and I don't want you to, why don't I have a right to protest and stop you?
Well, it's my flag.
Well, did you buy it or did you steal it off the pole?
Okay, well, that's a different story.
Okay.
That's not flag desecration, that's theft.
Right. So they did not have a right to burn.
No, they didn't have a right to burn that flag.
Right.
But if they brought their own flag, then they can burn it all day long.
So do you think they're going to find out who those people were?
Probably not.
Oh, but wait, didn't they grab a grandma who was praying outside of an abortion clinic?
No, that's
and
actually
locked her up?
That's not what happened.
Oh, who's the old woman in prison right now?
She was blocking the doorway.
She was praying.
No, she chained herself to the doorway to block people from going in.
I'll have to look that one up.
I
didn't really follow that one that much.
It's equivalent to the idiots on the highway, like they block the highways.
But they allow them to block the highway.
They should arrest those people too.
But so locking her up is selective prosecution, which we learned.
You have to know what district it was in and all that shit, because like if I forget what state she was in.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
But like, if she was in Tennessee, for example, Tennessee's a bad example. They're not going to. But okay, if she's in California and they arrest her for blocking an abortion clinic, you can't say, "Oh, but in New Jersey they let the kids on the highway."
So same. Okay.
So it would have to be the same jurisdiction.
I'll give you. So then the protesters were in D.C.
Yeah.
And they were able to find a whole bunch of J6ers.
Yeah.
Geofence them.
Right.
And arrest them.
Right.
So is the FBI working on that right now?
I doubt it.
Why not? Weird.
Yeah, so, it should be the same treatment for everybody. Right.
So speaking of the FBI, how they doing that something happened like a week and a half ago. I forget what it was.
The Secret Service director resigned. For some reason. I don't remember why.
Before that, I don't remember why. I think Trump was giving a speech and got some ketchup on his face.
Oh, yeah, the ketchup. Yeah.
Yeah, because they first thought it was fragments from the teleprompter.
Which is fully intact.
Right, but that doesn't mean it can't throw fragments. I mean, it could be little shards. So when that got debunked, now it's ketchup. So I threw ketchup at it.
Yeah.
Fuck, her media is horrible. Yeah, I don't know.
At least she resigned, though.
Well, no. She actually didn't resign because she messed up. Chester called her in need of help.
I don't care why.
Chester the cat.
Yeah, I don't care why.
His life is being threatened right now.
Well, that's fine.
So he needed somebody to come and protect him.
Why would he pick her?
So here's the thing. Okay, I called her Cheetos last week, right?
Yeah.
Did anybody else call her Cheetos before then? I don't
think so.
People are calling her Cheetos now. Yeah,
it must be our listeners. It's us.
My listeners are listening to me.
You heard it here first.
But I will say, although I was off on the days, I said Joe Biden. Well, so technically, what I said was he would resign from being president and would be off the ticket.
Yeah.
I got half of it right a week late. So I'm kind of right. I mean, I was kind of going down the right path.
So let's actually talk about this whole Biden resigning from the race thing, because there's at least 3 states. Now I haven't verified all 3 states. I've only verified Nevada.
Right.
But apparently in Nevada, Georgia, and Wisconsin, and maybe more, it is too late for them to change the presidential candidate for the Democrats.
I agree. From what I see, I agree with that.
Now, I've looked up the actual Nevada law. I don't have the... Oh, geez, it's on the Twitter somewhere.
Well, so in Nevada, our law's called NRS code.
Yeah, I have the NRS code on Twitter.
And it is. And that's what it is. So we're going to see...
Here we go. So NRS 293.165. So that talks about election procedures, how you get on the ballot, all that shit. And what it said was you can willingly drop out as of the third Friday in June.
That's correct.
And if you drop out before the fourth Friday in July, which is tomorrow, which actually today when you guys are listening,
right,
you have to either die or be ruled mentally incapacitated.
So he's dead, though.
So, well, if Biden...
They have to declare it, I guess.
It's by 5 p.m., I assume, Pacific time. So, if Biden is still alive and not ruled mentally incompetent by 5 p.m. on the day this episode goes out, the Democrats cannot get him off the ticket in Nevada.
Okay, I have a problem with that. And that sounds like something that's very well thought out and factual. So it can't be true.
Well, because they're going to try.
They don't rely on facts.
Okay, so they're obviously going to try and change the ballot, and they're going to get sued by Republicans, and hopefully the Libertarian Party joins on that. But what's going to happen? I don't know what the courts are going to say. But the law is clear. I mean, it's fucking clear.
I kind of had a thought about this. So what if it's more than 3 states? Because we don't know. Because I didn't want to dig into all the states. And but that's a legitimate, logical thing. Because I mean, in all reality, we're like 45 days from ballots being sent out.
Yeah.
So I can understand that being the case. So what if Joe Biden is actually alive and is diabolical, and actually goes, well, I'm going to sit back because my name's going to be on the ballot, and they actually win, and he goes, well, no, I'm the president because Joe Biden got elected, not Kamala Harris.
But the problem is Kamala will be on some states, and Joe will be on other states. So they have a split ticket.
Oh.
Right, so they can't win. They literally can't win.
So
if you follow the law.
Right.
But we don't do that here.
Well,
the other thing is, I know Trump's already suing over this.
Yeah.
But Biden transferred the money of the campaign.
Yep.
And they're not allowed to do that.
So I made a statement, I think in the last 2 weeks, that as long as Harris is on the campaign, she's allowed to use the money. Now it's coming out that she may not be able to. So I'm having a hard time finding out if what's right and what's wrong, because people gave the money to the Biden-Harris campaign.
Right.
Not the Harris
Buttigieg or
no. The next one, who do you think it's going to be?
Newsom is a
so Newsom
option.
And the guy and the governor of Kentucky, I think, are the 2 running mates.
Kentucky.
Well, so it's going to be a white man, just because they got to counterbalance whatever the fuck she is. It's gonna, and the guy from Kentucky's a moderate, and Newsom's not. Mm-hmm. But from what I understand, Newsom and Harris do not like each other. But they want Newsom to be president.
Wait, they're both from California, though.
Right. Doesn't mean they like each other.
No, but you can't run.
Oh shit, you're right. We talked about that before.
Yeah.
But is she a resident of D.C.? Oh no, because her home state would still be California.
I actually don't know how that works, because like they were talking about Marco Rubio.
Well, no, but that is a law, a rule or a law. I mean,
that's the 12th Amendment.
But she can always just bounce over to another state and claim.
I don't know if it works that way.
Is there a certain date? Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
The Constitution doesn't say. It says who shall not be from the same state.
But I didn't get a chance to actually Google the exact verbiage of Newsom's law that he passed today. But basically, he's making homelessness illegal in California.
Yeah, he said he gave the order to go start cleaning it up.
So why would he do that? Because he needs to be able to say, I don't want this homeless problem in California, but the mayors refuse to follow my orders. I really want this to be, a good, happy place with all these homeless people. So he wants that talking thing. He wants that talking point. But then if you look at the governor of Kentucky, he's already a moderate. So he counterbalances the progressive bitch that's possibly running for president right now, who's been appointed and not elected. Jesus, what is wrong with the Democrat Party? But so what I want to tell people out there is the Democrats are in shambles.
Yeah.
And apparently Harris is the one they want to run with, except Obama hasn't committed yet, but Hillary Clinton did. Although
did you see Black Lives Matter came out against her?
Well, they should. She's an evil fucking lady.
But that's pretty big. I mean,
but Black Lives Matter is not they're a group of criminals. My opinion, I could be wrong, but I really think they are.
Yeah, but they have a lot of sway.
They have in the past. I think that shines one off that turd.
it's drawn a lot of drama.
So yeah, I mean, but see, here's my problem. Okay, so I am actually a little concerned that she may win.
Well, yeah, I saw that
illegally.
The polls are like suddenly deciding they're neck and neck.
Well, but that's,
even the betting markets are pretty close now.
But that's the media's spin.
Well, not the betting markets.
I think they're caught up in this right now too. But the media they're scrubbing shit off the internet on her. I mean, I'm telling you, she was the border czar.
Border czar, yeah.
She was. I saw it and I'm like, well, that's weird. And then she cackled about it, and there was an interview, and the interviewer goes, well, you haven't been to the border yet. And then her response was, well, I haven't been to Europe either.
Yeah, but you're not the czar of Europe.
I don't know what that means. But that being said, she had a press conference today. Looking very presidential. Which is the other reason why I think she might be our acting president right now. She had the flag pin on, had the flags draped in the background, just like a president. She met with the dude from Israel.
Well, Netanyahu.
Yeah, Netanyahu. Do you hear they did his hotel room? His hotel?
They put maggots on the... yeah.
And they kept pulling the fire alarm?
Don't do that. That's against the law. We don't support that on Canary in the Cage.
Yeah, don't ever break the law. If you're going to get caught.
No, it's...
No, I don't know. I struggle to deal with this issue because we, the people, apparently are stupid.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know that?
I've always known it, but I thought there would be that area where we kind of, that pendulum kind of swings to we're paying attention now.
No, we don't do that.
And we're not. People. I mean,
it's just the whole. I mean, like, you know, Harry Sisson. You know, this kid on Twitter, like fucking idiot kid.
No,
he's just like this 20-year-old annoying Democrat kid, and like he makes stupid videos and he shills for Biden, and then as soon as Biden dropped out, suddenly he starts shilling for Kamala.
So like what, Sunday at noon?
Yeah, well, but the thing is, he was like so hardcore for Biden, like I'll never stop supporting Joe Biden, you know, and then suddenly stopped supporting. So like somehow, all these people just change on a dime.
Yeah. Right.
Like one day they'll be saying Kamala's a warmonger and she put black men in prison for smoking weed and all this shit, and then the next minute, oh yeah, she's a great president, she's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I am concerned. Because we have to realize, in a straight-up election, I'm not concerned. But, you know, I've made the claim here it's 40 million. I've heard, you know, lower numbers than that, 20 million. A lot of them have been registered to vote. A lot of them are getting votes. Even Elon Musk came out today and said, we may not have another election where American citizens actually pick our president. I mean,
well, how long do you think, like, when's the last time we actually think citizens pick the president?
Yeah,
I mean, just the fact that we have this two-party system where, like, okay, so everyone's been saying it's undemocratic that the Democrat Party is allowed to select Kamala against the will of the Democrat voters. You know what I mean? Like the primary voters.
No, I agree. She's appointed.
But the Democrat Party is a private corporation, just like the Republican Party, just like the Libertarian Party. We're all private corporations.
True.
We can select our ticket however the fuck we want, as long as it's within our bylaws.
But it has to be done through the delegates, not through like, oh well, Joe Biden's dead. Here's Harris.
Well, yeah, so that's what the delegates are going to select her.
Right, but she's already running for president, and she's already acting as if she is president.
Because the way their system works is that the delegates all. So like, unlike the Libertarian Party, where we're all a bunch of split people who hate each other. I mean, I guess they kind of are the Democrat too, but like when we come together. There's nothing resembling consensus, right? It's not like the Mises people can like beat the shit out of the radical people or the hater people, and say you're going to vote for whoever, right? It doesn't work that way, and it seems to be that it does work that way in the Democrats, and to a lesser extent the Republicans, where like all the delegates of the Democrats are very carefully guarded. And like you can't just get into that group,
right? It's already there
without going to Epstein Island or whatever you do, right? So like the delegates, when they get that marching order, they say yes, we're all going to pick Kamala Harris. And you, as a primary voter that's a registered Democrat, you don't get a say, right? So stop imagining that you have this democracy. You don't, right? And if you don't like that, stop voting Democrats. right? They're a major party. They're a private corporation. They can do whatever the fuck they want, and it's on you to break away from them. Stop giving them your vote.
I agree. That was actually a very, very well thought out.
And like the Republicans are so. I don't know why they're not as lockstep as the Democrats, but there's ways to break into the Republican delegation, right?
Okay,
like you have the Freedom Caucus. Trump fucking took over it somehow, right? Like because it used to be the Bushes, and now they're gone, right? When's the last time you heard the name Bush?
Just the other day, but it was referred to something else.
Yeah. Well, so and the other thing, like I know I've discussed this a little bit, but if you had, let's say, $100 million and a team of dedicated, competitive people, like maybe pro video game players or chess players or poker players, even baseball players, like you could take over a major party. I guarantee it.
So at the convention, you would go in what appeared to be a solid convention, but you would turn into a broker convention.
Yes,
and then you would take it
absolutely
over.
Because these people, like I said, like they don't have plans.
So
right, they're just not that smart.
Wouldn't that be a plan?
No, I'm saying
after the Libertarian Convention.
No, I'm saying if you had the plan, you could come and take over.
Okay,
because they don't. Right, they're just tight little group that like has their own Epstein Island bullshit to keep outsiders out. But if you just break in, you can just take over. Like you can cause dissent among the ranks. You can make drama happen. You can have factions spring up. They would fucking be in shambles.
You can like delay the vote until everyone's supposed to fly home, and then after everyone flies home, you elect your president.
I don't think Democrats would work that way. Like I don't think they would fall for that one.
I'm just throwing shit at you, man. But no, right now everyone in the sound of my voice, so me and Dave and Travis might be listening. Whoever else is listening, we need to get out the dumbest, stupidest comments Harris has ever made. What we need to do is we need to have them drop her out and replace with somebody else, because it will just show how disorganized and how much they're just in shambles right now. But I also I mean, you can't leave out Hillary Clinton. She has endorsed her, but that bitch wants to be president. Bad.
Well, okay, so if I'm Kamala Harris and I'm not retarded, and Hillary Clinton is pushing to me my vice president, no fucking way.
Yeah, you'll be dead the day after you
you'll enjoy one day of presidency.
No. You won't even be sworn in.
Shit, man.
Like,
well, you have to be sworn in, otherwise she can't take over.
Well, no, when she, like, if Trump was to be assassinated, wouldn't Vance just fill in his slot?
I don't know if it works that way.
Who else? I mean, how else would they appoint somebody?
I have no idea. Like, I don't think they've actually considered. The Constitution might not cover this situation.
Oh man! All right, so Harris gets sworn in, and then she trips and falls down the stairs and busts her head open, and President Hillary.
Yep.
I would definitely have a food taster if Clinton is your running mate. I don't believe Clinton's going to be a running mate, though. I believe Clinton's going to do an in run around at the convention.
Interesting. When is their convention?
It's like a month. It's like August 21st or 22nd.
Okay, a little bit of a while.
But I don't even know. Is it going to be in Chicago or is it going to be virtual?
I don't know.
They keep throwing out both words.
I don't know.
But apparently there's an article that was written. They're shipping in a whole bunch of migrants to Chicago for the convention.
Nice.
So I don't really know what that's about either. But speaking of the migrants, the illegal migrants, mind you, I'm throwing the word illegal out. What's going to happen after the election, no matter who wins? Because at that point they become useless people.
Nothing.
So are we going to keep paying for their hotel rooms and keep giving them money on their cards?
Yeah, I probably not.
So we're looking at possibly 40 million people just kind of wandering around the earth. No, they actually can't. Well, technically they can't get a job.
Trust me, they can get a job.
Well, you have to get a job that's illegal, then you're being taken advantage, because I do believe our corporations or our companies take advantage of undocumented workers, and I have a problem with that. But not these illegal immigrants, because they shouldn't be here. So it's a whole messed up situation. I don't know where this is going. It's crazy, but the reality is the media sucks.
I don't know if we even have to worry about that, because no matter who wins the election, like, it's going to get fucked up.
Well, no, if Trump wins, he's already said what he's going to do. He's going to round them up.
He's not even. Dude, do you think they're going to let him?
What is that song with from Ponderosa? Round them up, get them up.
No, do you actually think they're going to let him do this stuff.
Hey, wait, I'm sorry. I gotta get the meme maker with the Dukes of Hazzards and the San Fernando Sun. Make a meme from the Ponderosa song, or what that song is, round them up, get them up, of Trump on a horse with a rope. Oh, no, don't use a rope. That didn't work for the use something where they're like shuffling out these people.
If Trump wins, right, the leftists are going to destroy the cities. They're gonna fucking. It's gonna be worse than 2020. So like, whatever you're talking about, what the migrants gonna do, like that's not gonna fucking matter.
So destroy the cities. Go ahead. Step outside the cities. Go to the rural part of America. Go meet the people in the flyover states.
But on the other hand, if Trump loses, then we might see a real insurrection, as opposed to the January 6th fake insurrection.
Might be the rural people getting to work. Yeah.
So I think America's over. Right? America's just over. I mean, I know it's hyperbolic, and they say this every 4 years, but we're at a breaking point.
No. I mean, you got a legit claim there. It's going to be interesting what happens after the election. Right at Thanksgiving and Christmas time, who knows what's going to happen. But we've talked about this before. Stay home.
And vote for Chase Oliver, guys. Just vote for Chase Oliver.
Don't vote for Chase Oliver. He doesn't deserve to be elected. At that point, Kennedy.
Vote for Noda. None of the above.
What's okay? So let's talk about this. What's our October surprises coming?
Dude, it's nothing but surprises.
I have a thought.
Every week is a surprise so far. Like, what the fuck? What can you do?
So I have a feeling. So Rudy Giuliani was doing an interview with Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Brand.
I thought you brought this up last week.
But he said he has a lot of evidence. So what if that evidence is Trump's October surprise?
See, this whole fucking I have the evidence, they're always lying when they say that.
Well, so a video popped up earlier this week about Maricopa County in Arizona, literally showing people just swiping the ballots through the machine.
Right, okay, but I'm saying if you had the evidence, you would just post the evidence. You wouldn't say, I got the evidence.
No. So if you were a planner and you wanted to do the most impact, first, in 2020, you go to the court systems. Well, every court system turned him down. He didn't lose a court case. The judges punted and refused to hear the case. So he has these boxes of evidence.
Right, but why doesn't he just publish it?
No, but hold on, though. So he goes, what do I do with this?
Publish it on the internet.
Hold on.
Dark web.
No, I'm getting there. So he goes, what's going to make the biggest impact? If I release it now or if I release it in October?
Who gives a fuck? Rudy, call me up. I'll teach you how to use the dark web. You can publish it on the dark web. No one can censor you. It can't come down. And then that's it.
I was going to actually offer our podcast to release all the videos.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But no. You have to do it anonymously on the dark web. Because, you will be a target.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not
this really pisses... really...
But what if Trump does start releasing, Georgia stuff?
This is what really pisses me off about the right. You guys refuse to learn technology. There was a fucking thing about the shooter, right? It came out in the last week, the Trump shooter. He had overseas encrypted accounts. Did you see this?
Yeah, I gotta bring up something too.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? What is an overseas encrypted account? Do you mean a VPN? Literally something advertised on every goddamn YouTube video? Why is that out of the ordinary? Of course the kid would have a VPN. Stop saying overseas encrypted account like it's some scary fucking super spy shit. Dude, learn technology. You fucking people keep losing because the left understands technology and you don't.
So when when Cheetos was still head of Secret Service, she was being grilled by Congress.
Yeah.
Or by the House or by whatever committee, whatever the fuck they are. And the question was, do you use Signal?
Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if anyone doesn't know what Signal is, if you listen to our podcast,
now you do.
You'd know.
Yeah.
So I actually found that to be kind of funny.
As a government employee, you are not allowed to use that stuff.
Well, she admitted it. So she denied it, and then another guy rephrased the question, and she admitted it.
Yeah. It's no. So when you're on the clock in the government, all of your communications that are official have to be auditable and FOIA'd if necessary. So if she's talking on Signal, right? They can't go get that data.
Yeah.
So like that's illegal. She's not allowed to do that.
So a side note, there's a funny story I just made me think of. So Detroit, Michigan, they had a mayor and a chief of police.
Okay.
This is going back maybe 10 years ago. They were, well, the mayor was Democrat, so he was corrupt.
Of course.
And they were doing a lot of shady shit, and a couple hookers ended up dead in the river. Federal government came in and said, yeah, we need to see your phones.
Yeah.
And the governor goes, the mayor goes, no, these are our phones. You can't have them. And the FBI went, those are paid for by the taxpayers. We'll be taking those right now.
Yeah.
And he's in jail. And so is the chief of police.
No, but this is one thing that a lot of the First Amendment auditor people do.
Yeah.
Like they go filming in public buildings,
Yeah.
and a lot of times the employees, thinking they're clever,
Right.
will film them back.
FOIA.
And you can FOIA that,
Yep.
right? So, and they do it on their personal phone too.
Yeah.
So if you're in the course of your duties as a government employee
Yep.
doing shit on your personal phone, don't do that.
Yep.
Because so I do contract work for the government, and I have a separate laptop just for that work. Because if I put any of their work on my personal devices, they can take them. Those are their devices.
You're going to jail.
No, I'm not going to jail, but they can take the devices and verify that there's nothing there. So no, like you must keep your personal and government devices separate as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And don't fuck around.
So this came out today, and I didn't want. It's kind of over my head and too complicated for me to actually do the research in a short amount of time. So after our show on Thursday night, there was a big crash of the internet.
Oh, I actually want to talk this one. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think what's your is that was that a legit crash? Like.
Yeah.
No. Was it just bad code, like they said?
Yes.
So when the guy was being interviewed, they were interviewing a tech expert.
Yeah.
And he said that's not possible because every time before you release everything,
he's a moron.
You would you would run this thing through.
He's a moron.
Through programs.
He's a moron. So okay, this guy I actually looked him up. I don't remember his name, but he's like
the bald dude, right?
Yes.
Are all IT guys bald?
A lot of
just
us.
You and him.
No, it's either like you or like me.
Okay. That's actually very true.
But no. So he's like in the management side. So he's not a guy working in the trenches.
Fair enough.
And like what he was talking about, that's what we all strive for in IT. But if you ask a guy like me, how does it really work, Dave? It's all duct tape and bubble gum. Like it's like really one keystroke away from falling apart.
So
the whole fucking world.
Did you hear about the Ukraine link to this company? And the Clinton link to this company?
They're huge. Like who cares? They're huge. They're a huge company. They're linked to everybody.
Well, no, but there's the guy. I don't know if you saw the whole interview or not, but he brought up like how this company how Hillary Clinton used this company with all her emails and apps. Again, I'm speaking from an uneducated point on this, but when the FBI went to confiscate that company goes no. When the FBI, the information was sent to that company because they're apparently possibly a CIA asset.
That wouldn't surprise me. But so like our machines all went down.
Right.
The government, the lab that I work at.
Yeah.
And like my laptop is still fucking hosed.
Really?
Yeah. Because like they're just backed up and they don't have time to get everybody in time. It's fucking awful. And if you wanted to do this on purpose to target somebody, like you would just target that one person. And the other thing is, you wouldn't crash everything, right? You would secretly backdoor in, get the data you want, and then get out without anybody knowing. Like, why would you crash things? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, again, this is not my opinion and not my speculation, but there's a lot of people asking for the footage and the communications of the Secret Service on the day Trump was attempted to be assassinated.
Yeah.
And what if all that stuff just disappeared?
But you could do that without crashing the entire world's computers.
But we would all go, hey, that's not right. What's going on? And we go, well, there was a crash. It affected everybody.
I don't like.
I know I don't know.
So, but you could also do a crash that doesn't affect like your own assets.
Yeah.
right? Like government labs are all fucking down. I mean, like, for all we know, there could be nuclear shit leaking all over the place.
Although I did find it funny, Friday morning was when everyone from Milwaukee, from the RNC, was heading home, and they're like, nope. Somebody showed a map of all the planes. This is a typical day. And then there was like 4 planes flying. It was more than 4.
No, but I saw, and I don't know how they got this, but someone released some code that apparently got pushed. Maybe they, like, disassembled the actual file that got sent out. But essentially what they did was they accidentally referenced a piece of memory that you're not allowed to reference, which crashes your machine. So I could write a program right now that tries to reference illegal memory, but it'll just crash that program because it's a user program.
Okay.
So like on every computer, like you have user space, which is like your browser and all these apps like Signal and all that shit, and then there's kernel space. And kernel space is what controls the hard drive and the cameras and all the hardware shit. And the user programs talk to the kernel and say, hey, can I get some hard drive space? Hey, can I get some memory? So the user programs can't, like the kernel will say, no, you can't have that memory. That's illegal. But the kernel can do whatever it wants.
Okay.
So if you put an illegal memory slot in the kernel, which is what this company does essentially, because it's an antivirus and it has to load in the kernel side, which it shouldn't. There's ways to do it that way, but it's an enterprise system.
But they're a CIA asset, so they want to be in the kernel. Yeah. But that's not the guy from KFC, though, is it?
What?
The kernel.
Oh,
you're saying kernel.
Kernel, that kind of kernel.
Kernel, not kernel.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry I had to do that.
No, I've crashed companies that I work for, like by typoing things. Legit. I mean, because shit happens. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you fuck up and you just own it and you move on. So like, for all we know, this is some fucking intern kid that got. And the other thing is, so like we all do code reviews in the developer side. So like you write the code. And then you don't just push it in. Like, I have to review it first.
Right.
And then I have to sign it and say, yes, this looks good.
Well, but you say it goes through multiple stages of
It's
review.
supposed to. But that doesn't always happen.
Okay, fair enough.
So, like, there's emergency releases. There's... you can actually push it even though you're not supposed to. Like, there's all sorts of ways you can evade that process.
No, and that's right. Because I didn't want to really make an opinion on this because I don't know. But I'm actually glad you saw that interview. So you can explain it.
Yeah, cool. Don't trust any time. Like, this guy's a salesman, right? Like, he's selling you whatever company he works for.
Right.
Like, this is our process, and we're robust, and we don't make mistakes, and we don't have bugs, and bullshit. You have
He's not a good salesman anymore.
No,
Oh, he got fired, didn't he? Did the CEO get fired?
Of the CrowdStrike? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
okay.
I would hope so. But this shit happens all the fucking time, and the more we rely on Microsoft and Cloudflare and CrowdStrike, like all these centralized systems, like these big, huge conglomerates, the more we allow them to have access to every machine, the more likely it is that everything will crash.
Okay.
Because even if they're being honest and whatever, someone's going to make a mistake sooner or later. Everything's going to crash. So this is why you should move on to Linux. Right?
True. Okay. No, I like Linux. Actually.
Because in Linux, like the same thing could theoretically happen in Linux, right? Someone could push bad code to the kernel, and it crashes everybody. Now the thing is, on Linux, your machine doesn't secretly phone home and go grab that kernel, right?
Okay.
You have to say, I want the new kernel.
Okay.
And there's actually different. They're called flavors. So Linux has different flavors.
Different flavors of kernels.
Huh?
Different flavors of kernels?
No, different flavors of Linux.
Oh, okay.
So the kernel is just the kernel.
Yeah.
And so I use Ubuntu, which is it's a flavor of Linux.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with Linux.
So there's one called Arch, and Arch is like hardcore bleeding edge. Like, give me the latest kernel fucking now, right now, goddammit. The kernel's been pushed, give me a new one. So like these Arch psychos, like they're the ones who would experience these problems, and like they would report back right away.
Okay.
Say, hey, my kernel crashed, go fix it. Right? So, like, I'm relying on them to fix those problems. Because Ubuntu is, like, months behind on the kernel updates.
Okay.
Right? So that by the time I get the new kernel, it's been tested by fucking millions of machines and like, coked up psychos running Arch that, like, will instantly, like, they'll be on there, like, 4 in the fucking morning. Like, my kernel crashed! I love you guys. Like, you're doing a valuable service to the world. But you're crazy. So everyone get the fuck on Linux, right?
Well, I'm actually glad you said that because I've never understood this. Linux is like $1,000 to use run.
No,
Linux?
it's free.
Oh, it's free.
Free.
Oh, but then Microsoft is free. I thought.
No. Well, it might be free nowadays.
No, it's not.
It didn't used to be. I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Microsoft costs money. Linux does not.
Right.
Linux doesn't allow viruses technically. Right?
Yeah, they can.
They can, but it's harder.
Yes.
Where Microsoft is wide open for it's like a woman with a leg spread. Just come and get me, guys. Yes. And the viruses just come flying in.
Not to be fair, part of that is because Windows is more popular. So if Linux were more popular, then there'd be more viruses for Linux. But it's harder to get those viruses in.
But that's fine. But what I'm saying is you have an operating system that can run your computer that is free.
Yes.
And you have an operating system that can run your computer that is, well, not free and quite costly and kind of a bully.
Yes.
So
and has ads on the start bar.
Right. So there's
no ads in Linux.
So you get these people who are typing on their iPhone and they're like, oh, Starbucks is horrible. They're an anti-corporation. We need to ban Starbucks. Or these corporations are killing us. We need to stop. We need to ban them.
Yeah.
And yet they still buy Microsoft and they don't go to Linux.
Well,
why?
Okay. So back in the day, getting Linux installed was a huge pain in the ass. But now it's literally like you put it on a thumb drive, you plug the drive in, you reboot the machine, you follow the on-screen steps. It's all mouse click. There's no typing. You don't got no commands, and it's all set up for you.
And you can actually, I don't know the proper term for this, but you can have Linux and put in apps or something that makes it work with Word, and you can still have all the functions of Microsoft.
Most
not necessarily the functions. You'll communicate or understand like Word documents and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And this has been like 10, 15 years ago that this actually was available.
Yes.
But yet we all go, ooh, Linux is bad, but it's free.
It's
actually really fucking cool.
Yes. There's very few things that you cannot do on Linux.
Yeah.
One of them is gaming. Like most games working on Linux now. Like Steam is actually doing really good on this.
Okay.
Like they've found a way to make most games work on Linux. There's like the newest games that come out usually don't, but like you can have a Windows laptop for these games, only these games, and then do your normal shit on Linux. Right? There's no reason you need to have Windows everywhere.
So one of my son's first jobs was an IT guy at a high school.
Okay.
Catholic high school.
Yeah.
And what his job was, and actually he was an intern, but they paid him because he was like 60 at the time. But they still wanted, they talked to him, they knew he knew his shit.
Yeah.
So the school would give him all the computers donated to them.
Oh.
And he would wipe them.
Yeah.
And install Linux.
Nice.
And then teach the teachers how to use Linux with Word.
Okay.
And since that job, he's never wanted an IT job again.
Teachers are stupid.
He's like, yeah, I'm not doing that job. Don't say that too loud. You might get a baseball bat or a frying pan upside your head. There may or may not be a teacher in this house. Although she may or may not agree with you.
I mean, like regular,
I don't care. She's...
No. Switch to Linux, guys. There's no excuse.
No, and again, I haven't used Linux in probably quite a few years because I've been busy moving around the country and doing weird shit. But when I had Linux on my computer, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was, you could have it do like different stuff.
Yeah.
There was a lot in there to play with.
Yeah.
And you didn't have, what's your product key code? No, you can't open this app. I need another $55 to do this. Linux is free. It's amazing.
And the other thing, like if you do crash your machine somehow, right, you can always roll back. Like when you boot Linux, like it usually maintains the last 3 or 4 kernels.
Yeah.
So if you install a new kernel and it crashes, well, you just on your boot you just go back.
Kind of like Microsoft has a restore point. When the viruses affect your computer, it shuts and clears all those.
Yeah.
So you can't restore.
Fucking stupid.
Weird. But use Linux, people. I mean, I'm not computer literate anymore. I used to be more. And if I ever get back into it, I would go Linux. I really would. It's anti-corporation-ish. I mean, I guess.
Well, so that's the thing is, like, there's the various flavors of Linux. Some of them are sponsored by corporations, like Red Hat.
Okay.
Ubuntu is run by I think it's a nonprofit. But others are just user-made. So.
But they're not as evil as Microsoft.
No.
So
sometimes they can be, but it's like you can always turn their shit off.
Yeah.
Right? You can ignore, like, Ubuntu does things I don't like sometimes, and I can ignore it.
Yeah, it always has bothered me when people are like bashing like corporations and stuff, but yet they have Microsoft on their fucking phone and on their computer, and they're just like, hey, Word and whatever. It's all fun. But yeah, Linux is just sitting there going, hey, what about me, guys? I don't charge you. I don't rip you off. And okay. I just wanted to bring that up because I actually did enjoy Linux when I had it off, and I believe I even partitioned one of my computers.
Yeah.
Where I had Linux on one and Microsoft on the other.
You can do that.
And I can toggle back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm not completely computer stupid, but
and that's a lot easier nowadays too. I mean.
Yeah, but I'm going back like 10 or 15 years ago. I was doing that stuff. Yeah. So. Shit! Where the hell are we now?
I do have one more thing I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
So, let's say you call the cops because you think someone is prowling around outside your house.
Okay, I guess it doesn't compute with me, but okay, I assume somebody would.
Some people might do this, right?
Why?
And the cops come and they bang on your door. They're kind of assholes, which cops are sometimes. And they say, we didn't find anybody, but can we come in and get your info? And then we'll be on our way. And you don't know any better, so you say, sure, come on in. And the cop sees a shotgun in the corner of your kitchen.
Yep.
Or your living room, wherever, your den, let's say. And he says, oh, that's a nice shotgun. Can you go grab that and show it to me? And you say, sure, why not? So you go over to the shotgun, you pick it up, and the cop shoots you in the head.
Nighty-night.
And then he tries to argue that you had a deadly weapon, so he had to shoot you for his own safety. Does that make any sense?
Nope.
Why not?
Don't invite cops in your house.
Well, no. Why doesn't it make sense for the cop to make that argument?
What, that he had the right to shoot you?
Yes.
I mean, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, but he told you to go pick it up.
Yeah, but it depends on what the body camera is recorded, not recorded.
Yes, the body cam recorded him saying to go pick it up and show it to him because he thinks it's cool.
Well, then he should be arrested like the cop was that shot that black lady the other day.
Oh, so if it's a gun that's actually a deadly weapon, the cop should be guilty of murder.
Yeah.
But if it's a semi-automatic assault frying pan with boiling water in it...
Well, yeah, I mean, those boiling water bullets, they not only penetrate your first skin, they bounce around your body.
Oh,
and
that's true.
But then the water evaporates.
Yes.
And there's no proof that you were actually shot.
That's true.
So,
this woman, Sonya Massey, she's from Illinois. She's dead now. I don't know what city she was in. She must have...
It was around Springfield.
Okay.
It was a county.
Yeah.
It was a sheriff's department.
Okay.
But it was around Springfield.
Yeah. So I think she had slight schizophrenia.
She was mentally ill.
She had something wrong with her, but she thought someone was prowling, which people like that often do, even when it doesn't happen. She calls the cops. The cops are banging on her door like they're fucking got somewhere to be. Like, asshole, you're getting a paycheck, right? Yeah. Why don't you be nice to people? And they say they don't find anybody, and they want to come in and get her ID, which I can understand why she doesn't know any better. But hey, Canary in the Cage listeners, no, you cannot come in.
Nope,
you don't need my ID. Thank you for your service. Good night.
I don't answer questions, and no, you can't come in my house.
And also, don't call them if you see a prowler.
Right.
Like, let the prowler try and break in.
Call 711 instead of 911. It goes nowhere, and that's all you need.
But no, so the cop notices that her stove is on, and says, "Can you go turn that off?"
I love your.
We don't want to have a fire.
Yeah.
So she goes over to turn it off, and I don't know why she picks up the pot, but she picked it up. I don't know, maybe she wanted to move it somewhere, or who the hell knows? Like, she has schizophrenia. And the cop says, "I'm going to shoot you in the fucking face if you don't put that." He goes from joking 1 second to "I'm going to shoot you in the fucking face," and then she ducks down because the guy's pulled his gun, weapon. And then he starts just shooting. He shot her in the face. And he's on trial for murder.
He should be.
But
okay, he has been in 5 years. Been in 3 different police departments. Yeah. He's had 2 DUIs.
Oh, of course.
He's a bad guy.
One of these guys.
He is not a good cop.
And now there's always, no matter what a cop does, there's always some dickhead saying it was a good shoot and
it was not a good shoot.
But there's some people saying, okay, it's a bad shoot, but it shouldn't be first-degree murder.
So did you hear what him and his partner's conversation after he shot her in the head? The partner was going to run for the medical.
Yes, he did. He denied.
And he goes, don't bother. It's a headshot. She's gone.
Yeah, you can't say that. You have to render aid regardless.
Yeah, render aid.
But the other thing is, if you told her, if you're going to say that a pot of boiling water is a deadly weapon, and you told her to go approach that deadly weapon, That's premeditation. That's first-degree murder.
Yep, it is. No, he should be charged and locked up for a long fucking time.
And put him in Gen Pop, please.
What's that?
Please put him in Gen Pop.
Oh, well, he belongs in Gen Pop. Which actually now reminds me of a story I want to talk about today that I mentioned when you came through my garage into my house. My garage is kind of a mess right now because I had to disrupt everything because I had to break out all my prepping equipment. And wasn't quite prepared for it. Which is fine. I mean, if you're prepping stuff, you want it there for future use when you need it, but you might want to stack. You might kind of bury it. Just know where it is. So Sunday night, we went out to dinner. Oh, so let me tell you why we went out to dinner. This is gonna be a long episode. Sorry. We bought chicken kebabs.
Okay.
And we get home, and I got the grill all fired up, and my wife was getting ready to prepare them. She's like, "Honey, come in here." The chicken was disgusting looking, hard in some areas, different color. And when we spread it open, there was like white shit in there. I don't even know if it was real chicken at this point. So watch your chicken you buy at the grocery stores, guys. I don't know if it's real or if it's fake. I mean, we know they're pushing fake meat on us. Just be careful.
Well, actually, I know we talked about early on doing a butchering episode,
right?
Where I usually buy the whole chicken.
Like alive and go.
No, not alive.
Oh, okay,
but the whole carcass.
Okay.
Yeah, buy the whole chicken.
So it's chicken.
Well, that too, but also.
Or it's tofu made in to look like a chicken. Oh, they wouldn't have bones in there.
But when we do the butchering show, I'll explain why in detail you actually want to buy whole chickens.
Okay, so we returned the chicken. It was like $20, and I'm like, we're getting our damn money back. I'm not eating that crap.
Right.
So we went to dinner, and we came back, and our power was out.
Yeah. Fucking chicken, man.
Yeah, fucking chicken. I called out the chicken cartel on fake chicken, and they shut my power down. No, so I mean, we lost power, and I think like 100 houses in the neighborhood without power.
Eee.
So I'm like, and it's like 100 degrees out. So I'm still up. It's kind of setting, still over 100 degrees. And I'm like, I got animals. Some neighbors fled to hotels, and I'm like, I've got an 80-pound dog, a 20-pound dog, and 2 cats. We can't go to a hotel.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why go to a hotel? I'm a prepper. I'm good to go.
Yep.
So I bring in my swamp cooler, which is actually less energy to run than an air conditioner. We kind of bundled up around the living room and brought my solar generator in, fired it all up, and we had cool air. It was tolerable in the house. So the problem is, and again, I'm a prepper, but I'm not prepared. So my solar generator was about 44% when I fired it up because I've been running the podcast on it every now and then. And so we burned through that 44% probably like 3-4 hours. So it's around. So I knew it was going to happen. So I went and got gas.
Yeah.
Because I don't prep gas right now. Because I want to get more safer containers, and gas does expire.
Yeah.
Because of the ethanol
shit. Yeah.
Well, I can't get the 100% gas like I could when I was in Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah, in Tennessee I lived there for like 6 months. We could buy 100% gas. I'm like, I love this. So this is where the story kind of brings around to Dave's story. So I'm like, okay, so around 11 p.m. the swamp cooler shut down, and the solar generator ran out of power. I'm like, well, I'm good. Give me about an hour, and I'll have this thing up and running. So I take my solar generator out, pull up my gas generator, that's why the paint cans are everywhere, because I kind of stack it up on there, and I fire up my generator, charge up my solar generator, which you can do because the solar generator can be charged through the sun and solar panels, or through an AC outlet, or through a gas generator.
Nice.
Which is my whole plan. Is like if I need it, I can circle. I can kind of bring it around. So it's like 11:30, maybe even closer to midnight. And I'm running this loud gas generator, and my wife's coming out. She goes, because I'm not leaving it outside, because that means you're looking over $2,000 worth of stuff on that driveway right there. And my wife is like, what was wrong? Because the next day she's like, what was wrong with you last night? And I'm like, what? She goes, you kept telling me to stay in the house. I go, yes, stay in the fucking house. I said, if the cops show up, I don't want you there answering their questions.
Yeah.
Because I am not going to deal with them.
Yeah.
If the cops were to show up, I was going to be like, stay off my property.
Yeah.
Unless I'm breaking the law.
Yeah.
And what law am I breaking? And their first response.
sorry to interrupt, but
no, go ahead.
if they see you breaking the law on your property, they still can't do anything about it. They need a warrant. Unless I believe it's a
thought
felony.
probable cause could have them come on.
And it needs to be a felony.
Oh,
yeah.
That I did not know, because they were going to go, well, you're breaking the noise ordinance. I was going to be like, oh, how?
Yeah.
And they're going to go, well, that gas generator is loud.
Yeah.
Oh, what decibel level is it at?
Yeah.
And what is the law? And while you're looking up that law, why don't you tell me what a rooftop unit on all these houses we have, what's their decibel level at? Am I the same?
Yeah.
You know, so I was going to stand my ground because I'm charging my generator, my solar generator to 100%. Fuck them. And my wife, she couldn't understand it. I'm like, no, honey, if you come out here, do not talk to the police.
Right.
They might be nice. They might be fun. We might be laughing.
Yeah.
But they're looking for a way to have me shut that generator off because some noisy, they never showed up.
Right.
But some nosy neighbor or some jealous neighbor who doesn't have the shit I have is going to call them and say I'm bothering them, and they're going to try and shut me down because that's what cops do.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm not dealing with it. I'm going to shut them down. They're not coming to my property unless they, body cameras are going to be on. My cameras are already on. And, so my wife, she understands my crazy, but doesn't always understand my crazy. But speaking of that, I started thinking about this that night. So you can have solar panels to provide electricity to your house, or you can have alternative methods of electricity, which I actually would like to experiment with some alternative methods of producing electricity in my house. But state law in Nevada says I have to be connected to the grid no matter what.
Right.
And I just want to make a plea to Lombardo is get your fucking boot off my neck and let me try some shit.
Yeah.
Where I don't need you, I don't need NV Energy, and I don't need solar panels.
Right.
Because I think I can produce enough electricity here at the cost of about $8,000 to $10,000 that will power my house. But I don't want to be connected to the grid because they're going to come knocking on my door going, you're not using the exact amount of electricity we think you should. How are you doing that?
Yeah.
I don't want to disclose how I want to do it, but if I could get disconnected from the grid, because here's the thing, I'll go ahead and say this, it'll never happen anyway, so if somebody else wants to steal it, I guess, do it, but give me some money. I want to do a TV show on how to be an urban prepper.
Okay.
How to be, urban homesteader.
Yeah.
Which is connected to prepping.
Yeah.
And I think I could provide electricity without government. I could provide non-government electricity. I can provide non-government water, although that would have to be purchased from another company to have it delivered in, but I would have the storage, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
And I would also use maybe Earthlink, set some VPNs up. I could actually make my house off the grid, disconnected from any government agency. Earthlink's going to be a little bit, Elon Musk is kind of...
Was you mean Starlink?
Is it Starlink or Earthlink?
Does he have an Earthlink?
I thought it was Earthlink. I don't know. I guess I always saw the satellites fly overhead here.
That's the Starlink.
Oh, is it Starlink?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but again, I think there's a way that you could be an urban homesteader. With, okay, so you'll have to have some, well, you could go without a natural gas or a propane, and just go all electrical.
Right.
But you can also buy propane or trade for propane, or give Monero for propane, and have propane at your house on your property.
Yeah.
But yet our government will just, they keep that boot on our neck, because honestly, if you go back to what was Tesla's first name? Not the car making dude.
I have no idea.
Nikola
Tesla?
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
He actually had electricity that would float through the air, and then you would just use that electricity, and it was kind of cool, but the government goes, we can't charge for that. We have to kill you. I don't know if they killed him or not, but that's why we went with AC power versus, I think he was DC, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
So the government really wants to keep our foot on our neck for electricity, but yet they can't provide electricity to us all the time when we need. My electricity is out for 9 hours.
Jesus.
On a 100-degree day.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping on the floor in front of my swamp cooler.
Well, it's not going to get worse if we pass this fucking renewable shit.
Oh, dear God. And Harris is all on board with no gas engines by 2030, which is
impossible.
Not that far away. The paper's been signed.
Never going to happen.
Don't vote for her. Yeah, I mean, seriously, she's bad. Don't listen to CNN, MSN, The View. Actually, don't listen to The View because they're really fucking funny, because they're really fucking stupid. And that is my opinion, and I will say it to you. You want to try and sue me? come and take my bills. Because I'm a podcaster and I'm broke. No, I'm not, but whatever. Yeah, so I don't, what time is it? Oh shit, we've gone already an hour. So go and do your thing, and then I'll do my thing after you.
Cool, yeah. So I want to talk about Pi-hole. So yeah, I know you would make that face. So Pi-hole is, well, let's take a step back.
Okay.
You know what DNS is?
That's like the entry system to your internet?
DNS. No, so DNS is, when you type in google.com, DNS is the system that translates those words, those human words, into numbers, and then the numbers know where to send the data to go to Google's website. And DNS is this big centralized system, right? It's run by essentially one company that controls it all, and it's a big problem with the way the internet is structured. Because if, for example, you bought ronmorgan.com and you put your little homepage up there, and then like 10 years later, someone registers the Ron Morgan Trading Company, and they become as big as Walmart's, right? They're going to go after that website. Okay. And what they're not going to actually go make you a fair deal for it. They're going to go to this company and say, hey, this guy's using our name, give us his domain. And they'll say, okay, you're ronmorgan.com, you can have it. So it's a huge problem. So we need to decentralize this DNS system. Okay. So that you can't just steal other people's names that they rightfully took first. And Pi-hole's it's a tiny part of that. So what Pi-hole does is it lets you run sort of your own DNS system. So what you would do is, ideally, you put it on a Raspberry Pi, that's why hence the name Pi-hole, or the late potato device that I showed off on the show. Yeah. And you put it behind your network, and then what you would do is you go on your router, which if you've put our open source router recommendations on, you can say, you can use a custom DNS server. Oh, okay. And what you would do is you would say, use the Pi-hole for my custom DNS server. Okay. And so Pi-hole itself doesn't run DNS, but what it does is it'll go out to DNS servers of your choice. Google runs one of the biggest ones, which I don't like, but it is what it is. There's others like Quad9s. They block some shit, which I don't know why they're doing that, but we can get into running your own real DNS server in a future episode. Oh, cool. But just for now, like it's very complicated. But for now, Pi-hole, what it does is it'll go to whichever DNS servers you tell it to, and keep its own little internal cache, and then it'll serve your network. But the plus side, like why would you want to use Pi-hole, is you can give it block lists. So you can use parental controls. For example, you can block porn sites. You can block gambling sites, and and you can do this for like different machines on your network. Okay. Right. So you can say, little Jimmy can't go to the porn site, but I can because I'm an adult. Right. And the best thing about Pi-hole is that it has all these preloaded ad servers, and it blocks them from your whole network. Oh. So a lot of people will put an ad blocker on their browser, right? But if you have a smart TV, that TV's showing you ads. Right. Right? Why I paid for a TV. Why is it showing me ads? Well, so the TV has to go on your network. And if your network is using your Pi-hole for your DNS, the Pi-hole will block that ad server. So your smart TV can't get those ads. Will it stop communication in the other direction where it reports back to your cable company what you're watching and what you're doing? You have to tell it to do that. So by default, it only blocks the ad servers. Okay. And like these are pre-made ad lists of ad servers. Okay. But if you want to add things to that, you can. So you can say, I don't like my Samsung TV contacting Samsung.com. So I'm going to block all those. And it's very customizable, very modern user interface. It's a one-click install. I believe I have it running through Docker, which we talked about Docker a little bit. You just load it up and it goes. So it's great. So like I don't see ads anywhere on my network. And I don't have to custom install a browser every time. Right? If a friend comes over and visits and they get on my Wi-Fi, they don't see any ads. And then they can say, wow, I don't see any ads. How did you do that? And then I can show, here's how you use Pi-hole. Set up on your own network. So everyone should get this. load it up on the mini device if you have one. Which go buy them. Like the more we buy, the more incentive they have to manufacture more, and the price comes down. So get Pi-hole on your network.
That's cool.
It doesn't take up barely any resources, right? You can even run it on your main desktop as long as it's running all 24/7. And so go ad free. Get Pi-hole.
That's awesome. So you need a smart TV for that, right? Or not?
No.
Okay.
It blocks ads for every device.
Ah, okay. Because I was wondering if I could make it stop my TV talking to my refrigerator. Because when I sit and watch TV too much, my smart TV tells my smart refrigerator to lock the doors, and then my TV goes to like workout channels. And I have to do like aerobics and exercises for like an hour before it unlocks my fridge.
I mean, like to do more complicated shit like that.
No,
you actually can.
Bad joke.
You actually can do more complicated shit, but you have to know what the hell it's doing and then figure out how to block it.
Oh, nice. No, that's actually I really like that. It's kind of cool.
Pi-hole, P-I-H-O-L-E. I'll put a link on the website.
Yeah. So I just want to do a quick checkup on people's gardens. If you want your garden to feed you, you got to feed it. So you've got to now, at this point, analyze your garden, kind of see what's going on if you haven't already. Is it producing the right amount of yield for you? Is it doing what you want it to do? Are you overrun with tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers right now? Because you should be. If you're not, you got something wrong. So you got to kind of like figure out what's going on.
This is late July, by the way.
I know, but I mean,
people listen to us on delay a lot.
Yeah, but keep in mind, like most climates we live in, you're planting in May.
Okay,
you're starting your planting.
I'm just letting people know what date we're talking because
we're in July.
People listened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, because we're in July and it's a fucking 110 degrees in Vegas and it's hot. So I'm having issues with the heat right now and watering my plants. But you want to feed your garden, and there's a lot of things you can do, home remedy wise. Eggshells, milk. If you boil pasta, throw that water, the pasta water, throw it on your garden.
But save some of it because it helps the sauce. Don't throw all of it.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so it helps the sauce stick to the noodles.
The water. So you mix the water. You make the sauce. Use that water to make the sauce.
So you have your sauce boiling, and then you have your pasta water, and then when you mix the noodles with the sauce, you put in like maybe half a ladle of the pasta water.
See, you know more about this shit than I thought you did.
I'm all in the cooking, man.
No, but that's cool though. But yeah, you want to find out. You want to judge your yield. You want to judge your tomatoes. Are they cracked? Are they misshapen? There's a lot of things you can find. Check the leaves of your plants. It will tell you what it needs.
Yeah.
So you can make up and do it. But in all reality, just fertilize your garden. It's not that big of a deal.
Isn't coffee grounds supposed to be good?
Coffee grounds are excellent for this.
Yeah, because I in my apartment, I just have to throw them out, and you can't put them down the sink. Don't do that. So they're a huge pain in the ass for me.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I could maybe package them up and sell them as compost.
Well, compost is different because compost is what you put on before you till.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess you could put compost on while your garden's growing. I don't do that.
But I can just sell the used coffee grounds.
Yeah.
For real cheap.
Yeah. So. But yeah, you want to figure out what's going on with your plants. But yeah, coffee grounds are great for acidic plants.
Okay.
Peppers, tomatoes, that kind of stuff. And then you've got eggshells, milk. I think sorry, what else? The different water you use. But the one thing I just learned about is your muriatic of potash for your tomatoes.
Okay.
Because what I've got going on right now, I've got 2 tomato plants sitting next to each other. So in my backyard, I got elevated area and I've got one at the corner. I'm growing different plants to see what grows better in different areas. So I've got 2 tomato plants. They're damn near both 5 feet tall. Huh. One's producing a ton of tomatoes. The other one's like, nope. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out right now, is it the style of tomato that I'm growing?
Yeah.
Because if one gets a fertilizer, the other one gets a fertilizer. But now I'm kind of looking into fertilizing a little bit different.
Yeah.
To make sure that it gets growing. But in all reality, I'm also waiting for Labor Day. Because the heat goes away, and I'm going to redo my whole garden once.
You know something that people don't really know about when they're gardening?
Yeah.
So you don't actually have to go to the store and buy seeds. You can just take the plant of the tomatoes that you grow and then dig the seeds out and then put them in the ground.
So funny story about
people don't know that.
So check this out. So I'm growing. I've got a couple pots out there that I'm growing stuff in, and apparently a bird must have shit in my pots. or something shit in there because I had sunflower seeds starting to pop up. But because my pots are pretty packed right now with different stuff, because I'm doing a lot of tests to see what grows and what doesn't grow. And then once it gets to where I want it, I plant it into one of the gardens I have. But I had 3 sunflower seeds pop up, and they're tiny. Yeah. So I went and yanked them out, transplanted them, fertilized them, watered them, but they're staying really small.
Huh.
And they're blooming as small.
Interesting.
So what I want to do is I want them to seed. I want to take those seeds and plant those.
Yeah.
And to see if they stay small.
Right.
Because then I'm going to sell miniature sunflower seeds.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, because they're like this tall.
Huh.
And you got the little like flower on there.
Nice.
They're really cute. So that's kind of, I kind of mess around a lot out there. But yeah, so right now, and as the election gets closer, you might want to make sure you've got a bountiful full basket full of food.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's going to happen, especially when we go to war with Iran, China and Russia. Yep. Holy shit. So who knows? Let's hope I'm wrong. But have food, prep shit, have a solar generator, have a swamp cooler for you non-humid locations. For you humid locations, you're screwed because you can't run an air conditioner. You can run an air conditioner off of a solar generator.
I mean, I think a fan isn't horrible, even in like.
When it's 110 degrees in my house.
No, but outside, if you're in a humid location, it usually doesn't get that hot.
A fan does help.
Yeah.
But you also, because what I've noticed before is you've got solar generators now that actually have the 240 plug on them, so you actually can run an air conditioner off of that. I don't know how long it's going to take to suck that dry, but it's something I'm actually looking into. So if one of you solar generator manufacturers want to send me one, I'll check it out. I'll charge it up. I'll charge up with AC. I'll run it dry. I'll charge up with solar. Run it. I'll do a lot of tests on it because I'd love to see that. Because in electricity you have an A and B phase, and that was the problem with solar generators. It was only A or B phase. Well, it's only one. But now they've actually got where they produce both phases. It's actually kind of cool, and there's a lot of possibilities with that.
Nice.
Maybe I'll actually do a show on that, especially if I can get somebody to send me a free solar generator. I think Dave needs one too.
I'll take one, sure.
But actually, no. But in an apartment, you actually should have a solar generator.
Well, the problem is I have no access to the sun.
Okay, but you don't need the sun. Because you have an outlet, you can keep it charged.
Okay,
but this gives you 5 or 6 hours of electricity.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. But that might actually override that might like overload my grid.
No, what would overload your grid?
You don't think the solar generator charging it up?
Do you have an emergency battery pack for your computer?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Just bigger.
Okay.
So it would charge the same way, just longer.
Yeah.
But you would have it.
But then if I want the solar, I got to move it somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can take it out the pool with you, set it up.
Yeah.
Go swimming.
Right.
And then during our barbecue.
Okay.
You could actually charge it.
Well, why don't you just bring yours? Because I'm not going to buy one in time for that.
But no, because actually, what's funny in the litter box. Jules and Cat Turd. Cat Turd lives in Florida in the rural area, and Jules lives in Hollywood. And she's like, I can't have a generator with gas and running noise and stuff. And we're all like, get a fucking solar generator. And if you are without power, you will run it dry. But in all honesty, once the power's out, have a gas generator there too. Charge your solar. Tell the cops to fuck off because they're gonna have other things to do anyway.
Yeah.
So make some noise, piss off your neighbors, and you're gonna sit there with a fully charged cell phone, fully charged computer, a little bit of cold air blowing on you. And so these solar generators are actually pretty cool. So look into it and enjoy it. And if we go into the zombie lands and we got zombies coming at us, you'll at least have power when they come and eat you. So I think that's it for the night.
Yeah,
we are
get those RSVPs in.
Yeah.
thecanaryinthecage.com/BBQ. There's a link from the homepage too, so you can't miss it.
Yep. And you're 3 blocks off the strip.
Yeah.
So
actually, I put it in the chat room, but I got an anonymous message on SimpleX from one of our listeners.
Yeah.
I think in England because he said the phrase across the pond,
yeah.
And he said, "Hey, guy, I love the show, and unfortunately I can't come because I'm across the pond," which gives him away. Yeah. But
it's an ocean. But okay.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah. Like we have listeners, all over the world.
No,
now.
I do love that.
I really appreciate the message.
Please message us. We want to hear from you. We'll work with you if you want to hear something, or if there's a story that you're hearing about, especially if you're out of the country and we have a weird story going on here. Let us know about it. We'll research it. And we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're hearing something from our media, it's probably a lie, and we'll do our best to tell you the truth if we can find the truth. Because they're lying to us too. Yeah. So yeah. Well, let's call this a show, and I think it's been a fun one. And
Yep. See you next week.
Yep. See you next week. Enjoy. Thank you for joining us at the Canary in the Cage podcast.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share us to help build the community.
You can find us at Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, or your favorite podcast app, and even on the dark web at I2P.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.